fuck out of bed, bitch. Go.
You're finished. No.
Get up. And got go up. Gotta wake up. Gotta wake up, bitch. Get up.
Oh.
Get up. Get up.
Before it, launch the counterattack.
Okay, I was wrong about something, and man, you guys are going to want to stick around. Thank you for watching FMA Source. Thank you for watching the FMA Dumpster Fire podcast. Today could be a dumpster fire, maybe not, but y'all know I've been wrong about stuff, right? And I could potentially be wrong about something that I was so sure about, and this is going to be the topic of discussion for today's show. First of all, if you love the Filipino martial arts and you're not on Facebook, can you go on FMA Source and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss whenever I go on live today. Man, I got to tell you something. I made a video about distance sparring and, like how that can develop bad habits and that you need to spar to be able to be good at sparring. And one of my homeboys may just have proven me wrong. And we're going to discuss that. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's the guy, my homie, Mandala Rob Pagan. What's up? What's up, brother? How you doing? Rob, you there? Can you hear me? Wow. After that introduction.
There I am.
Oh. Okay. You're good? Man, the connection's not so great. You're coming in a little bit choppy, but hopefully that's going to resolve itself. Rob. Okay, there. Oh, man, what's going on here? Rob, can you hear me, bro? By the way, for anyone tuned in right now, how are we coming through? Are we doing okay here? Yeah. Drop that thumbs up if you can hear me.
You're good. You see?
Yeah. There we go. Rob, how are you today, bro? How are you?
Yeah.
Man, yo.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're there? Are you sure you're there, bro?
Doing
Because
well, dude.
you're doing well? Okay, that's good. Sounds clear. Old man still can.
Yeah.
Paulo looks clear. Alvin is saying that, yo, you're choppy, bro. Like, are you going to need to reconnect? All right, I'm going to remove Rob. Rob, here's what you do, man. You just jump right in. I'm going to kick you out of this podcast. I'm going to feed the people a little bit more context. You jump right in, and when you're ready, we'll go talk to you, okay? Okay, so here's what happened. I met Rob Pagan when he found out that I was going to LA, and then Brother Man was like, "Yo, I live in LA. Come stay in my apartment." And I'm like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." But I'm a risk taker, and I did my vetting process, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Something about this dude, he's all right. He's a good guy. So I decided to stay in his apartment, and we just hit it off, man. We did a bit of distance sparring, and then as our friendship evolved, we got into that talk where it's like, man, we got to fight. You know this, right? Like we gotta spar. And so Rob is always down, and he's talking trash like I'm talking trash. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna hit me, bro. There's no way. You just you know how friends talk, right? So anyway, this chatter went on for about a year. I did a bunch of sparring in the meantime, and then Rob was just a great supporter. He was a great friend, and much like our mutual friend Jack Latorre, he would give me insight as to what the heck I was doing, because a lot of the times I would just do moves that that was able to manifest by virtue of the way I train. And of course, the people that I train with, the generous masters, grandmasters, tuhans, datus, gurus that are so generous with sharing their information with me. And but just by virtue of me coming into Filipino martial arts really late, I really didn't have time to navigate through the complexities of understanding terminology or really what the heck I was doing. And so, people like Rob and Tuhon Jack, they would just tell me, "Oh, that's Seguida set 1, move 3." But anyway, okay, Rob's back. I'm gonna bring him in. Rob, you're good, man. What's going on in
Can
LA,
you hear
man?
me? Am I choppy? I'm good.
Yeah, you're still a little bit choppy, but it's starting to.
What's happening?
Yeah, there you go. There we go. It's getting okay. Anyway, I was just talking about you, man, and I was talking about how our friendship really began. So, can you share with the people, maybe, so that I don't do so much talking, how our friendship really developed and what it was? Because I talked about a little bit about what you offered to me as far as friendships go, and I think friendships are that way, right? Like
Okay.
there's a give and take. Everyone that you're friends with, they have something to offer, whether it be by setting an example or just who they are, what they do. I just thought you were a really cool dude, super dedicated to PTTA Tersha Kali, super duper respectful of the old traditional ways, and you're trying, very hard to carry these old traditions into the modern world, and I really appreciated that. But how did we start becoming friends? All right, good chats, bro. I can't hear a damn word you're saying.
You met in 19. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I still coming in choppy?
Yeah, you're choppy as balls, homie. I mean, I'm as
Why?
as
Wi-Fi up in here, but no.
guys, you're not hearing Rob at all, are you? Hey guys, I'm off to smash it. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna give this another shot because Rob, you're really coming in super choppy. Apparently, I'm coming in okay. Because somebody out there in live, this is friggin' live. So, anyway, good thing we're not in front of like 1 million people who have paid tickets to be here. Rob, I'm gonna kick you out one more time. You try to resolve that stuff. Resolve. Work it out. Try something else. Try something else. Okay, I'm gonna kick you out. All right. Kick guest off. All right. So let me just, man. Okay, so I made a video a little while ago, and you can check it out on the FMA Source channel, about how I believe that people who only distance spar have a huge risk of developing bad habits as it relates to their ability to time defenses for incoming attacks and to have the appropriate distance with which to defend and to launch attacks from. Anyway, but long story short, Rob, before the PTTA Tersha Tactical Association USA Conference 7, admitted to me that he hasn't really sparred full contact with rattan sticks. And in fact, the last time he sparred with contact was in a week half tournament, wearing the red dress and probably fighting against people who are like with tickers. And so, I gotta admit, man, like my expectations were not incredibly high when I finally got the opportunity after our initial meeting to be with Mandala Rob at the PTTA USA conference. And what ended up happening was, like, we trained a whole bunch, And then like I and we trained with real energy and with real resistance in the kitchen, and whenever we got the opportunity to really do that, I was like, you know what? I'm shocked. But the real shocker came during the last day of the conference when so this is how it works, right? In the PTTA Tactical Association, there's sort of, and I don't want to speak on behalf of Jared or the PTTA or anything like that, but from my observation, whenever people are going to rank in into the instructor levels of the PTTA, it's not like you gotta do this. Oh, maybe it is, but anyway, they have to fight, and they typically have to fight multiple matches in a row, and I think some of that has to do with testing somebody's heart, but also the grading requirements for the PTTA are knowledge of the art, skill, and your ability to execute it, and your character. And I think fighting multiple times in a row under exhaustion is a demonstrative metric of your character. Are you going to give up, or are you just going to throw in the towel, or are you going to dig deep and find something deep within you to be able to continue the process of grading, right? And typically the people who are grading are matched up against high level instructors. And there's a method to this madness. I mean, you'd think, like, why in the world would you pit somebody who's just beginning their journey into the instructor ranks with a high level instructor? And again, part of that is because of the community that Jared has cultivated within the PTTA. There's an expectation that you regulate your effort based on the context of the match. And the context here is really to test whether or not somebody's is prepared and know the system well enough to be able to execute it and in a live energy environment under resistance. We're still waiting on Mandala Rob here, by the way. So anyway, what ended up happening was let me send my jump back and hit that link again. Okay, sorry guys. Anyway, this is live. We might have to do this again, but we might as well keep rolling. Where was I? Oh yeah. Students who are grading are matched up against high level instructors. I'm very fortunate. I've been thrust in there as well to be able to support people who are about to grade. I've done it multiple times. I believe across all levels of grading. I don't think I've fought with somebody who is about to earn their Agalon rank. But anyway, I've participated in these grading matches within the PTTA whenever I can, as often as I can, because they're great. And I do have the ability to regulate myself, based on the nature of who I'm facing. Pat myself in the back for that. But anyway, what happened this year was interesting because there were a bunch of people who were about to grade. And this year, for some reason, I guess because of timing and the amount of people that were going, I wasn't able to participate this year in the grading matches. But Mandala Lamont Glass, which is really, truly one of the pillars of the PTTA, and probably not as exposed as he should be, and maybe in some ways that makes him underrated. But the people who know him and fight with him and train with him know what's up with Mandala Lamont Glass. So anyway, Mandala Lamont Glass goes up to Mandala Rob Pagan, who, by the way, didn't earn his Mandala ranking strictly through the PTTA Tactical Association. And I believe he got it from Grand Tuhon Leo Gaje himself. He did the process lateral ranking, and the PTTA, based on his requirements, chose to honor his prior ranking. And now he's a Mandala in the PTTA. All right. You guys with me? Mandala Rob doesn't spar full contact rattan regularly. The last time he did anything like that was like in 1990 or in the 90s, and it was a weak half. But his supreme dedication to the art of Pikiti Tersha and his supporting practice that encompasses who he is, and particularly the guidance of the Grand Tuhon of Pikiti Tersha, Leo Gaje. This combination all converged. Okay, so Mandala Lamont Glass, behind closed doors, was like, "Hey Rob, do you wanna participate? Do you want to help us with these sparring matches?" Okay, Mandala is a serious rank in the PTTA. It is the rank before Tuhon. All right, so if you can imagine, if I can paint the picture for you a little bit, you have mandalas in a back room, one mandala to another mandala saying, "Hey, look, and a part of what I'm about to say can be poetic license, exaggeration, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it's two mandalas talking behind a closed door. One is a fixture, a pillar of the PTTA. The other is a newcomer, but both sharing equal rank. And Mandala Lamont Glass said, "Rob, would you be interested in participating in our grading sparring matches?" Now, what would you do? What would you do as a newcomer into this magnificent house when somebody of at least by name is equal to you in rank offers you the opportunity to fight lesser ranked people who are going to gun for your ass in front of everybody while GN films that crap, right? I just want to paint the picture here that there is a lot at stake for martial artists in general. There is ego at stake. There is everything that you've worked for. There is judgment. There are eyes on you. So when Mandala Lamont asked Mandala Rob, "Hey, for the first time, really, are you willing to fight?" Like, I don't know. I think there was a bunch. And in subsequent videos, I intend to fully show you these matches. You know what I'm saying? What would you do? And you're martial artists, right? Imagine if you were a black belt in Shotokan Karate A, and then you by virtue of your journey went to Shotokan Karate Dojo B, and a black belt in that system was like, "Hey, we're about to have a kumite. Are you interested in joining?" What would you do? Here we go. Mandala Rob Pagan. Yes, so much better.
I'm sorry, man. Tech savvy. I'm just horrible with this, dude.
You're good at other things, so you're forgiven, my friend. You are forgiven. Anyway, I was just painting the story about that moment when Mandala Lamont asked you if you would be interested to participate in the grading spars. What went through your head? Talk us through that when he first asked.
So let me back up on that a little bit. So when everything was when the sparring was happening, I just had to have a moment. Like I didn't want to call out, just like, "Hey, you want to spar?" Because again, I'm in someone's house and roof, and I'm not trying to and I had that feel, that energy. So
you're very respectful. You're very respectful, man. Super respectful. You're a true martial artist.
Man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, how I was born and raised, it's like, when you go into someone's house, you be respectful, and it carries with me a long way. It's like I said, etiquette. So I was just waiting to see someone call me out, And
man, you don't just walk into the PTTA, get a lateral rank, and be like, "You don't get a pass, homie. You got to prove that shit."
Of course. I was waiting. I was like, "Let's see what's up." And sure enough, Lamont generously just came up and just like, "Hey, Rob, do you think you can, ask and can you go with one of my guys for La Conguru testing?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's go."
No hesitation, huh?
No hesitation. I was surprised and shocked that he called me out, and I think again that was really awesome of him to do that, to part me up to his student.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I thought that
awesome, man.
yeah, I thought that was super darn cool, man. And I was like, yes, sir, let's go. You know, but I get it. I got it. It was like, say, oh, see, this dude's gonna punk out, or and then, but it's definitely a test of like, okay, you come in our house, yeah, you got the
Yeah.
rank, and you're all cool. Now it's time to get in the ring, see what's up, see what you're about.
Hell
Totally
yeah,
agree.
man.
I think you go to any house you go to, be like, what's up, and
Sure.
then it's
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, there's no red carpet rolled out. Doesn't matter, you gotta,
Were you nervous, man? Were you nervous? You gotta have been a little bit nervous. I mean, because
Oh, sure, of course, yeah.
that community, the PTTA community is amazing, right? Like I
It
mean,
is absolutely
you
amazing.
know it, but there is it's one of I mean, fighting, your ability to fight is a currency in the PTTA. There are other
Yeah.
currencies that weigh your value, your knowledge of the art, your dedication, and most especially your character.
Yeah.
But you don't get to be a Mandala in the PTTA unless you throw down. So
Uh, I'm not, yeah.
you weren't
I'm not,
nervous. You weren't nervous at all, or what's up? What's up? Be
the
real, man.
only thing, well, no, dude, I was nervous, and it
Okay,
was more
thank you.
of me. It was more of me. Like, look, when you're in the presidents of a rank of a mandala or a matasa group, you better step up the game,
Oh
And so
yeah,
it's like
it's no joke.
it's it's going to see your skill set. It's going to see a lot of many things of, okay, let me see if this person is a mandala or a guru and everything. So yeah, I was like, okay, I can't fail these guys, and I can't fail myself, and that's what it's about. That I think it was more of testing myself, you know, and of my character, and then I got put on the spotlight,
This
a
is
little.
exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
It is about yourself, right? It isn't about anybody else. And this is what I figured. This was, and look, Lamont shared with me, and I hope I'm not breaching a trust here, that not everybody says yes for different reasons at different times. But you had this one opportunity, you just M&M'd it, man. You got one shot, one opportunity, and you took it, and you took it.
Absolutely. I
So
mean, like you say. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
well, what I was going to mention was that, okay, so you took it, you did it for yourself, but when I saw your performances, and again, guys, I'm sorry, I don't have these clips prepared because we kind of did this out of the blue. What wasn't lost to me was your service to the person that you were fighting, because it wasn't about you showing to everybody how good you were and just smash the crap out of somebody who was a lesser rank than you. You still regulated your energy, you still regulated your effort, and you still gave lessons that your opponent can learn from, right? So yes, it was about you and your initial willingness to accept, but when you stepped into that platform, it wasn't the Rob Pagan show, which was
No.
amazing. It was amazing because some people were gassed out, man, because we were fighting at altitude and they were on fight 3-4, and you could tell that they were just squeezing every last bit of heart out of their character to just remain standing. And you didn't take that opportunity to like show off or smash. You were giving appropriate feeds with good speed and intention on target, appropriate to their condition. What was that about?
That's an instructor. That's what an instructor. If you're at a level of an instructor, you know, you measure, you say, okay, here's a person in a third, fourth wind, right? You see the skill, right? You know the fact that they say, you know what, I'm gonna put at an energy level where I read, where I know how much that I'm gonna put out there. So it's at the same time I'm teaching him, and at the same time I'm also sparring with him, right? So I know, right? And it's like, okay, it's like, for instance, if I see Tuhon Wahangi, the one I saw him fight, I'm gonna fight that level. If I see, like,
That's so important. That's so important. You just match sort of the energy of the person. And again, it's all about service, man. You are serving. Um, you're right. You're right. It's a hallmark of an instructor to have the ability to do that. It's just, man, there was so much. There was just so much in that moment, and I kind of felt for you a little bit, man. You must have been fucking shitting bricks, bro.
Oh, dude, I was more. I was fucking winded, bro. I was like,
I'm gonna
woo.
fix this light. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah,
Talk
I
to
know.
us
I
about the
was like,
experience.
oh no, the experience. No, I was first of all, I was on high altitude and I was super winded. Like when I got in that mask, I was like, I went first round and I was winded, and I'm watching these guys and I'm thinking like, damn, they're still going, you know, and
Yeah.
some of them are mountain boys, you know,
Oh
so
yeah.
they're used to that, you know,
Yeah.
like Lamont's people, you know, all that, and then and Jones, they're all mountain, so they're used to the high altitude. I'm a city guy, and I'm coming up in here, and I'm just like, holy crap, man, air's thin. I'm like so winded, so I had to keep my pace, and then you know,
Yeah.
and I was just being relaxed, you know. But it again, it was like it was definitely a wonderful experience. So I had to work to my advantage that these guys can go pound for pound and start smacking, right? So I was going to go in there and say, okay, well, I'm going to set myself up to do what I can do, and I know my limits of what I do. And what I did was, I'm going to
Yeah.
work the Kitty Tertia. I'm going to do what I do at best, you know, and working these principles and going in and try and you know doing blade.
Dude, that was the thing, man. Is yo, you look so pretty, bro. Cause like hey man,
Yeah.
this is no disrespect to anybody, right? This is actually just a fact. When you first get into sparring, it's difficult to regulate your effort. It's difficult to remember form and technique under pressure because it's such a primal thing. You pick up a stick, you try to smash your homies in the face with it. And so a lot of the sparring that we end up seeing, and again, this is no fault of the practitioner. Maybe this is just the animal that they unleash when they spar, and they don't give a fuck about how pretty they look. But you look good, man. You're doing like some old shit. See, you're doing like Sagitas and like I don't know what the fuck that shit's called. But you're doing some old classical Pikiti Tersha under pressure without the regular sparring regimen that would usually preclude that kind of performance. And that's what blew my mind because I thought there's no way in hell anyone who just distance spars and dedicates themselves to Pikiti Tersha can jump into a Shark Tank and perform in the way that you did. And so it shook my foundation. And so I don't know, is that just because of who you are, the combination of who you are and who your teachers were? Because I still definitely don't think that anybody can perform the way you did if they don't regularly spar. I believe it's a process. But let's talk about the Grand Tuhon. Let's talk about Grand Tuhon Leo Gaje.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
to what degree
So
do
my
you owe your performance and who you are to who he is?
let me. So you're asking there are some elements of what it did. Well, I think from growing from the '80s, you know, I did boxing, a lot of sparring, a lot of fighting, you know, and from that to just like going into, and I mean by boxing, by the way, and I did Muay Thai, and it was just like old school style of the training. I had these teachers, you know, and
Okay.
like good Richard Bastillo, you know, it was really
Oh,
hardcore, you
rest in
know.
peace. Rest in peace,
Yeah, yeah, rest in
man.
peace, you know. And then I just took that element, the way I was brought, the etiquette that he instilled in me, these great instructors from back in LA, and then going into the military, going to the 75th Regiment, Special Operations, and then taking that with me. And then during regiment, that's in 2008, I started up in training in Peking Tertia. And in those days, the three people I was training with is you know, Tuhon Ramel Total, Tuhon Tinway, and Grand Tuhon Gaje. And that's when I met GT up in around 2009. I owe every bit of my training of a lot to of GT, and the way he trained me was hardcore. It was very disciplined.
Yeah.
He's very OG.
Yeah, man.
He really knocked the Western mindset out of me. You know,
Ooh,
like
I
when
love
I
that. He
yeah.
knocked the Western
So
mind.
like
I'm sorry about the lights, guys. I hope this is not too distracting. I'm preoccupied with this flickering light. I'm gonna stop it so that I can totally focus on Rob's story here. Go on, sir. I apologize.
oh no no
So
no
he
you're
knocked
good,
the
brother.
Western mentality out of you. GT did
Right.
that.
Meaning right. So when I was private training with him, it was nothing but fighting. He wanted to see me fight, and what he did, he would come at me hard, like really hard. There was hardly no drills or anything, just a little bit, but he really wanted to see more of me, and he really was like he knew he was architecting me to what he wanted me to
Mm,
be, to this mold of bikini tertia, just that Filipino, mind going in there, And when every time I think, he knows what I'm thinking. He'll just come,
yeah.
bam. He'll just come and hit me hard, and I'm all like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he will knock me so hard. That's why,
Wow.
because he was saying, that's why I say knock the Western mindset. Either you think too much, or you ask too many questions, or you're like, no, you're here to fight. You get in here and make it work. So now, what he did was, every time like he moved, I come right in, bang. So he trained me to that point where I see one little movement of him move, and I just go right in, blah, blah, and he's like, good job. I mean, he didn't waste no time and effort. That's why the old man, the GT would say, sorry, I say the old man, but
Young man.
Grand Tuhon Leo Gaje would say, don't time waste too much talking, more doing. Don't
Yeah.
why you fight till from January to like December and finish the fight right now, you know? So he really built that in, like fused that in me. And this is back in '09. And this is when he was like, stocky bull. Like, oh man,
Oh
it was
man,
wonderful.
GT in his prime is a freaking scary animal, man.
Oh, bro, uh, I got bruised and knuckles, and so now I just have this image. So when I spar, I just like I think back to my training and Grand Tuhon Gaje, and he did that word attack, and I just go, I just
So
go.
here's what I'm thinking, Rob, is that whenever I hear from Tuhans and high level instructors who have had significant time with the Grand Tuhon of PTTA Training Leo Gaje, one of the things that they always mention, right? Once I get into my questioning, is that he can see you, he can see through you, and he can see everything about you. And he formulates almost a specialized way of how to train you on an individual level. That's what everyone has said to me. And so I guess I shouldn't be surprised about your performance at the last PTTA training conference, because I mean, yes, the Grand Tuhon PTTA Leo Gaje was an element in contributing to that, but you're also a ranger. You're in the special operations community. You did box, you did do Muay Thai, and so the totality of those things came together. Right? Is that fair? It isn't just Leo Gaje.
No, I think it's fair, but so there's a military worth a set to the mindset to that, and then there's the martial aspect mindset to it. And whenever I train with Grand Tuhon Gaje, and no matter how, if you're a Green Beret or you're Navy SEAL Ranger, how badass you were, for some reason we just like kind of shrink, when because
I get that,
it's like,
dude.
damn, it's like his presence,
Command
like, yeah,
presence
like
for
that Ranger
sure.
is all out. Yeah, like when you like once you enter his domain, like that Ranger SEAL is off out the door,
Yeah, you're just like a
and
9-year-old boy. Just yes, sir.
he's like a yeah, yes. It's just that deemed of, but he does it genuinely and with love
Yeah,
and respect. The way he trains you is like he raised like his own boys. It's like the way he does it, you know. And so I had to rethink my process as a
Mhm.
martial artist when it comes to in the Filipino martial arts. That's different than the, in the military.
It's
So
still really
I think,
mind blowing. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So there is, I will give kudos. Yeah, of course, there is elements. I give thanks to the military helping within my training, and I think that's more of the no quitting, the endurance. You keep going,
Sure.
like
Grit, resilience, all those
man.
great things. Yeah.
Right. So and of course, I think also with Grand Tuhon Gaje, he put more effort with me, like more discipline, more harder because he loves military. And at that time was a ranger. He was like, I'm gonna teach you combat. I'm gonna teach you to fight, and that's where he took that with me.
Well, that's
So
exactly
yeah,
what I mean. In that
yeah,
he assesses who you are, he examines who you are,
yeah,
and then he formulates internally uh, this methodology to extract the best out of you based on what he
correct.
sees. Right. So if he's not just judging your tattoos and how big your biceps are. He's judging you every step of the way, how you enter his house, how you remove the slippers, the way you hold your fork, and
Yes,
this is the
sir.
genius of the Grand Tuhon, is that he's able to do this. And what's cool even is that he doesn't feel compelled to explain to you what the heck is happening. You just do what he says. You know, you know what I mean? Because and there's this trust that comes from the other side that goes, yeah, I believe in his process. So, all right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go peel mangoes or whatever crazy thing he gets you to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an amazing human being, isn't he? Look at this
Yes, he
PTI
is.
Academy.
He's
He's a
yeah,
genius in
he's
seeing a technique and knowing how to make it better. Yeah, and maybe he sees the principle of the human being, and he attaches a methodology and perhaps drills and techniques in order to
yeah.
extract the most out of that human being, and that's amazing. I mean, these days, sometimes it's unfortunate on social media. So some of the things that come out from the Grand Tuhon Leo Gaje camp often come out as being misunderstood. But I think that's just the nature of social media. When
Yeah,
you're face to
I'm
face
sorry.
with GT, it's a different story, is it not, Mandala Rob?
It is. No, it is. It totally is. Like I've gotten to know him to the point where I just understand. Like sometimes he'll just say things to me like, "What?" And I'm like, oh, "Okay, that's just him." I just understand his the undertone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't take anything to it. Or any offense, or it's just that's who he is. But like when I'm with him, I swear to you, he's like the dearest man, like right there. Like he'll sit with you, have coffee with you, eat with you, and talk with you. And he rather talk something else besides PTK. Like, he wants to talk about
Yeah.
politics, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because
Yeah.
he wants to get to know you and he wants you to do better. He wants you to do better. But he challenged you in a way of doing better. And for example, instead of asking questions, he rather have you figure it out. So
Mm-hmm.
Western culture, it's like, okay, what's this? And it's like, oh, it's this. And then if you go to Grand Tuhon, he'd be like, figure it out.
Yeah. What can you do with
And
this? Yeah.
what can you do with this?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And so with all that it just makes you to a more a better of a person, and not just with the bikini tertia, but with also like your career, your education, your family.
I'll take your word
You
for it.
know,
I'm not willing to fully extend my impression of Grand Tuhon to that degree, but I'll tell you something. The first time I met him was under the context of, he knew of me as this loudmouth, arrogant
uh-huh.
Filipino martial artist on the scene,
I
and
remember
then
Vegas, bro.
you're Man, my first meeting with GT and the subsequent meetings with GT. Yeah, you do remember Vegas for sure.
You were,
Yeah,
dude, bro. You were talking, like, oh, dude, this is GT, blah blah blah, right? And then when
shut
things,
up,
look,
man.
there's GT. Where? Like, like, are you're just like,
Yo,
yo, man. As I
you
said
know what?
before, bro.
I turned to a 9-year-old boy just like everybody else around GT. That's what you saw,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
this dude poked the first time I met him in person. It wasn't a handshake or nothing. He gave me that. And then he poked my
Yeah,
belly
I
and he
see.
goes, yeah, he's like, you're naughty, huh? I like you. So I'm like, there is so much to this man that most people who only know him, by their contact in seminars, and his online, that just don't really understand the depth and the complexity and the
Yeah,
nuance and the sophistication of the way his brain works. And I think he likes
yeah.
that. I think he likes
Oh,
creating,
oh yeah.
you know, controversy and all. It's part of his process. It's part of his
That
process.
man, that man, he knows exactly what's up, man. He's
He
all like,
knows what's up.
yeah,
So
he
what'd
knows.
you think? What'd you think? What? Because you were there in Las Vegas when I first met Grand Tuhon. What do you think he thinks of me? Because I care. I really do. I really don't care
Oh, he
about
thinks.
what most people think of
Oh,
me, but I do care about
he
what
thinks.
GT thinks of me.
Oh, that's simple, man. You're brilliant. He's more
No.
proud of you than anything because, for one, you're Filipino first, and secondly, the look what you're doing, bro. Like the intelligence of your what
All
you
right.
do with your
That's
social media on your platform and edit. That's where he's more like, see, he gets it. He's smart. He's not stupid. He gets it.
he's a stupid vato. No, no, seriously, I appreciate it. But enough about me. I will just say that, I really appreciate my time with this dude, man. I really, really appreciated our conversations. There are some things, in fact, when I was in Maryland with Tuhon Apollo and Grand Tuhon, where he allowed me to film some things that he said. And then
Mm,
after he goes, don't share that with anyone. And I felt like that was a test because I think he knows that I want to share my journey. I think he knows that I like, uploading videos and getting the dopamine rush from all the likes. So he gave me
mhm,
something and then he goes, don't ever upload that. Don't broadcast that. Don't share that.
mhm.
And at the moment I was like, well, that's bullshit. But as time goes on, what it makes me do is to appreciate things that are just for myself, And I
Mhm.
think that's
Yeah. Yeah.
if I didn't spend the time with GT like you did, or that, Tuhon Jared did, or Ramel Tartal, or Bill McGrath, or the Ladras. I didn't spend as much time with GT as you guys did. But that lesson, man, for me is valuable to this day. And it just
Yes, sir.
came by way of this simple thing. He gave me something and he said, don't share it.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. I
It's
appreciate that.
intimate. Intimate, dude. That's why. It's something that only he wants, that he shared a relationship with you, right?
Yeah,
And he's just like, hey, I'm giving something to you from here
it's
between me
nuts.
and you, you know? So that's the reason why.
So I'm getting a comment here, and I'm not going to post it because there's a lot of people that don't like GT. Right? There's people who don't like him, whether because of one reason or another, whether they're jealous, right? They're jealous of his notoriety and fame in Filipino martial arts. Maybe they don't feel he deserves it. God knows he's only human. He's made mistakes, and maybe some people harbor resentment for things the GT might have said or done in the past, and they can't seem to get over that. They just can't seem to get over that. And this comment, which I'm not going to post, cites there's a very famous Tuhon in Mexico who
Oh
friggin'
yeah.
sucks. Who sucks. I'm not afraid to admit it. He friggin' sucks. And so, sometimes people want to judge the Grand Tuhon by such things. Like, why would you promote to a Tuhon this dude who is nowhere like, bro, you're a Mandala. You're a friggin' Mandala. I think any Mandala in the PTTA could be a Tuhon, perhaps somewhere else. And certainly your skill, your knowledge, and your character, from my estimation, and I know he's not here to defend himself, and this is absolutely not fair, but that Jesus guy from Mexico ain't no Tuhon, but he got the rank under GT. So how do we consolidate? How do we bring this together? The fact that you're a Mandala and that you owe, your performances and who you are and your character to the Grand Tuhon, and yet he promotes friggin', wiffle bat spar like this dude from Mexico. And again, I'm sorry, guys. I know it's not fair.
No worries.
But what is it? What's going on? What's going on?
To be honest with you, bro, me, I don't care. It's GT. I think a lot of people are just too concerned of why he's doing it, what's going through his head, what's his plan, and that's only for him to know for himself, for his plan.
Yeah,
he's always he's 10 steps ahead, man. He wouldn't be doing it unless there is a goal to what's going on. And to be honest, it's like I got to a point in my life with GT. It was like, you know what? He's going to do whatever he wants. GT. And if Jesus got promoted to Tuhon, kudos to him. But here's the thing, okay? You're going to get promoted. So this is what the Grand Tuhon does. He promotes you, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? See? So it's like so there's your levelty of your understanding of the system PTTA tertia. There is a skill set in there. There's so many of these things. So it's like he what he did for whatever that reason is. And if he wants to do that, again, I don't. It doesn't really me at all. He wants to be if that man Jesus wants to be a Tuhon, fine. Be a Tuhon.
Yeah. I think it's really that's. Oh wow! What a weird pause. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, I get it. I'm going to quote Tuhon Apollo Ladra actually on this one, and he said Tuhon is the beginning. Tuhon is the beginning. That's when it is a beginning. And so when somebody gets awarded a Tuhon prematurely, you're absolutely right. Right? It's up to them what they want to do with that responsibility. Right? And I think you're in the right track and not wanting to try to compare yourself with other mandalas or gurus or Tuhons, because let's face it, right? There isn't a recognizable standard when it comes to GT because of, some people can see that as a bad thing, but the flip side of that is that he does see an individual on an individual level. And so you have ultimate control as to what to do with the things he gives you, whether that's a skill, a drill, an idea, or heck, a rank. Ultimately it's up to you what you want to do with that. By the way, my homeboy,
he's not going to tell you what to do. He's not going to tell you how to run it. He's going to be like, here you go.
Here you go. I kind of love that. This dude is cosmic, man. Like GT is an alien from another planet, and he's just operating on a on such an amazing plane of consciousness. And even in his later years, right? Like, quote unquote, his, the final chapters of his book, he's still generating intrigue. He's still generating conversation. He's still promoting the art of Pikiti Tertia. Even in his own way, he's promoting all of Filipino martial arts. And I think people who want to say negative things about GT, right, based on the specific way they've engaged with him, are kind of losing sight of the fact that he has done so much for the Filipino martial arts, and any expression of dissatisfaction about the Grand Tuhon Pikiti Tertia Leo Gaje is personal. But if you just kind of step out, fly 10,000 feet up in the sky and get that bird's eye view, you shouldn't have nothing but positive things to say about GT. Am I right?
Of course. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And thing too is I get involved with anything that was more like of like his personal situation with like that has he developed with instructors in his 20 plus year, more. And that's something entirely different. If the old man is if GT is talking about of someone, and okay, and I just like that is something that has to be deal with between that and the other person. Okay.
Yeah.
And that will come to a close for sure. And I'm not excuse me here. I'm not I just don't get involved with that. It's just that I think people get too much involved into Grand Tuhon's life, and I'm thinking like, why? Just train. And I think that goes with every martial artist. Like,
yeah, it does. And he's a public figure, so it comes with the territory, right? Like people are going to want to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I'm reminded of the Filipino grandfather and how he interacts with his grandchildren. He tells every grandchild that they are special, that they are the one. And so when the cousins get together, they all think they're the shit, and that's gonna create some clashes. that's gonna be what? Lolo said that you were the best at Sagang Labo. He told me that I was the Sabayan king, and so
always. That's good. That's good. Oh, that's good. Good job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should probably.
What do you think? What do you think of this? It's like, and the thing is like they'll take it for real, and then the people go like, yeah, well, he said this to me, and reality is that he really tests you. He really tests you to see. That's why he tells me. He goes, I ask him, what do you think, GT? Oh, it's good. No, what do you think, GT? It's just good. I said, no, really, stop. I go, dude, come on now. Come on. He's like, you be quiet. Shut up. You're catching on too fast. He goes like, okay, fine. See, that's good then. Then, because here's the thing from what I understand, from what I know.
Yeah.
Why do you ask GT if it's good unless you rather him pat you and say, that's good, instead of you asking him? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's like, all right, Western mindset. Yes, it's good.
Right.
It's like, right? Instead of like, let him come to when you're training, and then next thing he'll just come out of you and he pulls you aside, do this now. That's good. That means
the
like,
validation.
Okay, that's good. Now you're moving on now. Now you're moving on. That's the realism. Right.
Yeah. And it's just funny to me as an observer. It's like I see all of these people making claims that GT told him this and that there's, he's our grandfather, he's Lolo, and he makes every grandchild feel like they're the best grandchild that ever existed, and how these grandchildren interact with one another on social media, to what degree do they believe and want to impose their authority upon others. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, because what actually matters is that the Grand Tuhon of PTTA Tertia gave you a seed, and it is your responsibility on how you want to cultivate it. And it's up to you. It's up to you, right? Do you want to have parasites and vines and weeds always competing for your space because you've made a claim? Or are you going to find your space? Are you going to find your nourishment and grow and provide for other people? So I think in that way, even though GT created a whole bunch of conflict and drama amongst his seniors and the people that whose lives he's touched, hey man, at the end of the day, you know,
Hey,
you are responsible for you as a human being. GT is
that's
not
correct.
you are not GT, and
Nope.
how you cultivate what he's given you is a reflection of who you are, not who he is. He's a seed planter. He's
Yeah.
a, you know, does that
And
make
he's not
sense?
gonna tell you. He's not gonna tell you how to behave. He's not gonna tell you
No,
how to behave.
I mean,
You know, but he tells you things to see like where is he going to take. Like for instance, he tests you like, Paulo, don't do this, don't share this, right? He tests.
yeah, it's a test.
He tests. He tests your character. He really does. You know,
Absolutely.
in
And
a
by the
way.
way, I'm going to upload that video here on FMA Source once I get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm just joking, bro.
Ah,
I'm just joking. I'm never going to release that shit.
but I want to
And
go back to your long distance sparring, huh? All right. So
yeah,
you were like, what the hell? You know, how did this happen? You know, and I tell you, it's just this is for everybody. It's just hard work, a lot of training, and your love. My love and passion for Filipino martial arts is like
oh
off the
yeah,
roof. You
it's
know,
on a different level.
it's a you know, and I got to a training where the GT will build to a point where you become the metaphysical part, where it becomes that high level, you know,
Hey,
and
don't
you
get into
just
that anting stuff with me right now, bro.
oh man, it's real. Oh man, I got it right here, dude.
I know, I know. Hey,
I
honestly, I have a little window open in my heart, in my soul, in my consciousness for the metaphysical, for the mystical, for the things that I really don't understand. I do. You know this. You know this. Even though
yeah,
I poke at you for your unthing and all that stuff, but
right.
I keep it open. Hey, you got a class to teach, don't you? You got to
Yeah,
go.
like in 2 minutes, bro.
All right, Mandala Rob. I'm gonna let you go, guys. Stay tuned. I'm gonna play a couple of videos that I've
No,
edited.
I again, wait before I go,
Yep.
I just want to say, um, I love all the training and all the teachers in PTTA Tertia. I mean, really, of what they have been doing to promote PTTA Tertia, you know, and it's really super awesome to see what they're taking their craft, their what they have learned from
Yeah.
GT and going out there. You know, again, everybody's was learned differently from GT.
Yeah.
My training was really hardcore. You know, I endured it. I love it. I love old school training. I wouldn't trade for the world. I wouldn't mind getting beat 100 times, again, slammed down into the ground 100 times by GT, just to feel the effectiveness of all power of him and Peking Tertia. You know, some people might not like it, but then again, that's just that's just me. I love that's how I train to learn from GT. I said, don't hold back, let's go. Because then I see, and that's how they used to do it back in the days, you know, in Filipino martial arts. Oh, go in there, get hit so we can see, or, you know, get in there, you know, but it's a blessing. And when I get hit by him and I get smashed bone or whatever, it's a blessing. So yeah, I know I'm a little bit crazy, but you know, um, again, I think I'm glad everyone's doing the training and with iCali, PTTA, PTI, PT Katupunan, and believe it or not,
Yeah.
PTK World Federation, and all these other guys out
Yeah.
there. You know,
PTK, SMF.
they're all doing it.
All of them, anyone doing
They're they're
PTK, man.
they're
We
all
have our
doing
little
it. You know,
differences, but we're united by
of
something
course,
much bigger, much,
and
much
that's
bigger.
much bigger. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But thank you, brother, for having me on, dude. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. It's too bad. It's too bad you got to teach that class. You got to go.
Yeah, I
But
know. I'm going to get called up. I got a jet, man. I got to go, bro.
all right, it's been
Sorry.
an honor talking with you, homie. All right, peace out until next time. Mandala Rob, Pagan, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Woo! Yo, we covered a lot of stuff, man. We covered a lot of stuff, you guys. I'm going to play 2 videos that kind of demonstrate the stuff that I was talking about how I was like just completely shocked at Mandala Rob's performance. And don't get me wrong, the dude got hit, man. He got hit, right? It isn't some like magic pill, but I just didn't think. I just in my heart, and this guy's my boy. He's my homie, and I was just like, there is no frigging way this guy is going to get smashed. But he didn't get smashed. And he attributes that to his training with the Grand Tuhon Leo. And yo, I'm not going to argue with that. You know, I'm not going to argue with that. But this PTK thing, this Filipino martial arts thing, yo, it is a process. And this was about PTTA, man. But I love Kalisa Lustrissimo, you guys. I love the crap out of KI. I love the crap out of Balintawak. I love the crap out of EDC. I'm beginning to fall in love with modern Arnis. What else? There's I am intrigued by the Serrata Eskrima, and I'm really looking forward to digging into what the heck Angel Cabales was really all about. Man, there is just so many Filipino martial arts systems out there, a lot of family styles, and the thing is, and I might get some hate for this, man, but the bridges that connect all of them that's my bread and butter. That's my jam. And so sometimes I can be kind of seen as this like irreverent fool who refuses to study a system in its totality. But I just think that the differences that all of these Filipino martial arts systems have is a process that is worth exploring. And maybe somebody's watching me do my foolishness and may feel compelled down the line to follow suit, and do better, and do better and show better examples of what this path can actually be. But in the meantime, Balintawak. In the meantime, Kalisa Lustrissimo. In the meantime, Estacada de Campo and the De Campo family of systems. In the meantime, PTTA. In the meantime, a pulse on modern Arnis. In the meantime, a pulse on Serrata. And then Cinco Terros based systems. And it's just such a rich tapestry of Filipino martial arts. And for me to be able to have a journey that's uniquely my own in the time frame that I have using the resources that I have, that's going to be an exploration of variety and then trying to find similarities so that maybe I can become a uniting force in Filipino martial arts, and maybe I can be of some influence in squashing beefs, you know what I'm saying? So that these systems can begin really communicating with one another. Once again, by the way, how the hell did I forget FCS Kali? Another big influence on me. So yeah, and I hope, and I've seen this, I firsthand. I'm seeing old beefs get squashed. I'm seeing olive branches get extended. I'm seeing students taking ownership of their journey and refusing to carry the political baggage of their lineage, which is an amazing thing to see. I'm sure your grandmaster would love for you to defend him online, but I mean, if he's wrong, he's wrong, and there's no sense in making an enemy arguing a point that you don't actually in your heart believe in. So there's unity. There's more unity to be had in the Filipino martial arts. Mad respect to you guys. I really appreciate your commentary. I think we are shifting the tides in FMA. More cross training, more accepting, tolerating, and appreciating each other's differences without the need to, bastardize, water down, or become disloyal to the thing that we're loyal to. I think we're finding a friggin' amazing balance. So thank you all very much for that. Before I go, I'm going to play 2 videos for you. I don't know which one this is, but this is a sparring breakdown I did of one of Mandala Rob's sparring matches. So again, you'll see that he's regulating his energy, but he's still executing beautiful aesthetics of PTTA Tersha and executing just some beautiful, beautiful tactics. So here's one of them. I hope you guys enjoy that, okay? I don't even know what that move's called, but it's something. Look at that. Rob got hit. With a witik of all things. That was just slick, yo. Oh, god dang. I'm gonna see that again. Sorry, guys. I just, every time I watch my videos, man, I just want to see stuff again. So sorry, I'm gonna rewind it. But I thought this was dope. I thought his triangle footwork he's using triangle footwork to close the distance in a way that's kind of deceiving. He's not just charging in that's going to elicit a retreat. He's triangle footworking it, offsetting his speed in a way that just kind of, puts this dude, which by the way, is an amazing, amazing PTTA Tertian. He's well on his way into development. He's under Seafood DM out in Arkansas. Anyway, enough talk. Here it is again. Oi. That was dope. Okay, so the next video I'm about to play for you guys, and which is going to allow me to get a bathroom break. This wasn't a grading match. It wasn't like super ultra competitive, but this was Mandala Rob Pagan versus, man, one of my all-time favorite fighters in the PTTA, or in general, is Mandala Jason Jones. This mountain man is just incredible. He's incredible. I believe he's a dog brother. I don't know if he's a full dog brother or whatever, or just a regular dog. Kempo fighter. But just one of the most amazing, another pillar of the PTTA, Mandala Jason Jones. Shout out Red Desert Dogs, Kali's out in Wyoming. If you get an opportunity to train with Mandala Jason, do not skip that opportunity. This dude is funny. He's hilarious. He's a scholar. He's a poet, and he's a freaking comedian at the same time. And he can smash with sticks. So in this fight, this is a Blade Rules match between Mandala Rob Pagan and Mandala Jason Jones. Absolutely beautiful. The level of respect between these two gentlemen was just absolutely incredible, and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking a lot again. Here is the damn video for y'all to enjoy. Just keep in mind, you know what? Fuck it. Just watch it and enjoy. I'm confident you guys will just appreciate the crap out of this video. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Enjoy. Chelsea Warren, guys. It's beautiful. Guy Mao. I love that moment. I love this moment. Oh my God, I'm gonna rewind. It's this, just them trying to find range, trying to find a moment. Nothing happens, but this. Oh. I go this way, you go that way. Oh my God. Gorgeous. Damn. That was a dope vid. Man, I get artsy sometimes with my Filipino martial arts video, but you see a moment like that, and I think there are just very few people in the world who can appreciate like the pageantry and the elegance of that kind of an exchange. And I'm very honored that I'm in the presence of people who can watch a video like that and drop these kinds of comments and appreciate the things that very few people really get to see and appreciate. And so, man, I do it for the fam, you guys. God knows there's not a whole lot of money in FMA, but I do it for the love, man. I do it for the people. I do it for the community because I think, man, there's great potential in Filipino martial arts. And by the way, I wanted to mention that stories like Mandala Rob's story today is as significant and beautiful and profound as it may be. It is just a grain of sand in this fantastic beach that we call Filipino martial arts. And there are stories of heartache and disappointment and pain and triumph and glory and successes in every Filipino martial arts system. And hopefully I get to live long enough to be able to get to tell those stories in the way that I'm currently telling stories of the PTTA Tactical Association, of Balintawak and Caliste Ilustrísimo and Estacada de Campo, and a little bit of Modern Arnis. Shout out Datu Kelly Warden and his NSI group. Shout out to how much he honors the professor to this day. So there's a lot of things that I don't know. There's a lot of people that I don't know. There's a lot of stories that I'm not aware of. And hopefully I get to, at some point, be able to tell stories like this, continue to tell stories like this. And in the meantime, it may seem like I'm just, like PTTA focused. And that's cool. I love the PTTA. But really my mandate is by virtue of doing good for some, that I get to do good for all. And I think we could all adopt a little bit of that philosophy and, from time to time, shed the tribalism and understand that there is a bigger tribe, there is a bigger community in the Filipino martial arts, and it benefits us all when these stories get told. So, my name is GN. Thank you guys very much for watching the FMA Dumpster Fire podcast here on FMA Source. I appreciate every comment, every like, every subscription. These things really matter. They may seem trivial to you, but every time you hit a like on YouTube, it all stacks up. You know what I'm saying? It lets other Filipino martial artists on YouTube know that we're creating Filipino martial arts content here, and that we've got a community that's being built here. And so more eyes get to be placed on us. By the way, if you've got interesting stories in Filipino martial arts that you would like to share with this little world that we've sort of all created here together, send me a message. You can email me at paulo.rubio@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook or on Instagram. I'm not always going to be like super ultra receptive, like let's do this now, because obviously I have stuff to do. But keep a pulse on me. I'll keep a pulse on you, and then when the timing is right, we'll go tell that beautiful story that you have in your back pocket together. In the meantime, thanks, bro. Thank you guys all very much. And I think that's it. Unless you guys have any questions, I'm going to play the outro, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you all for your support. And if you're watching this and you've stopped swinging your sticks and for political reasons or whatever, you've sort of stopped doing FMA, pick up your damn stick right now. Do a carenza. Do a double stick carenza. And just flow. Get back into this stream of consciousness that we all share. We find it in the flow, and we get connected on social media and hopefully in person, but we are all one. FMA, one art. My name is GN. Peace out. Love you all. Thank you. Keep training Filipino martial arts. Peace.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go.
You're finished!
Get up.